pictures of people putting on a couple extra quarantine pounds. Yeah, so you're gonna have to talk about like getting your ass back into shape, figuring out. I mean, if you're in California and the gyms are shut down, those people aren't going to training together on a regular basis, I'm guessing, unless they're part of the people that are violating. So I feel like this is going to be a strange year that anybody that is in an area where COVID protocols were a little bit less restricted and who has just been training and keeping their community together is going to have a big, serious leg up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually had a conversation with one of my athletes last night. I was on a call with him, and he's going through that, right? Like, he just got a new job, he just had his first daughter, and he's working for a huge corporation, 12 hours a day, and we sat down and said, here's what we're doing, but like, he had to make some decisions of how to navigate and train, and so here's the time I'm dedicating. But I think the cool thing for anybody that's kind of going into this season is, again, I know that if I just kind of crush this stage one, I have an opportunity. So like, there's more opportunity than 20 people make regionals and that's it. Well, then only for this tiny amount of people will there ever be a chance. Everyone's just going to be open for like bragging rights in their gym.
Yeah.
Now you open this up to 10,000 or 20,000, maybe even more, can get through to that second stage and have something to compete for.
And showcase more advanced skills. I mean, there was something about the Open that kind of sucked if you were somebody that was outside the elite, but you had all of the skills, and then only some workouts you have to have so much fitness just to get to a heavy barbell, right? Like if I'm 19.2 and I'm not fit enough and I can't do 125 toes to bar, I can't even get to the last bar. So it kind of, I think this might allow for more expression of people that are not just well-rounded and good at everything, but still like competing in the sport.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you are a perfect example of that. Like, you have all the high skills gymnastics, like freestanding handstand hold comes out. If you practice that for 1 day or 2 days, you'd be able to put up a decent time. Yeah, I mean, even compared to the games athletes, or other things that are like that. But
general fitness.
If you do the Open, then you're still obviously your top 5 or 10,000, but it's hard to compete with the Travis.
Yeah.
So having these multiple stages allows you to kind of express yourself.
It just kind of puts all of the sport components, instead of just saying like, one of the things in the past was you got to look at the whole season as the test because we only care about the fittest.
Right.
And that would be like, oh, we only care about Michael Jordan. I'm like, well, Michael Jordan's got 4 other then another 10 on the bench, and it has to play against other people. Like, a season is created, and even a superstar is created and other people to compete against. So I think this system kind of allows a lot of that awesome aspect of the sport being reduced and distilled down for the season as well. At least that's my hope. And the whole season is shorter, which I love. I hope that they keep that.
Me too.
It's 7 months. You have 5 months of an off season. I mean, I feel like there's some longevity.
It's 3 weeks. Yeah. By the time you get to that week 4 and 5, especially if you're doing stuff that you do, it's just like shit.
I honestly, hopefully we'll see how it plays out, but I don't even know if you need that much for stage 1. And I feel like
I'm listening.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about trying to get 500,000 people. So like, if you look at statistics of something like gym memberships that in January 1 people sign up for New Year's resolutions, it's something like 95% of people never step into that gym again after something like 6 days.
Yeah.
So most people that sign up for the Open, are probably just you see it's like, workout 1, 500,000 scores, workout number 2, 450,000 scores, workout number 3, 100,000 scores. So I think if you could reduce that earlier stage, you might get, give more people the bug. Fucking keep your shit together for 2 weeks. And it's not even 2 weeks, because if you do the first subset of workouts on a Friday, the next one comes out on a Friday, it's like, come on, 8 days.
Yeah.
Do this competition for 8 days, and it's 2 days of your life that you need to do it. I think you have a bigger value proposition for the masses, whereas, the elite athletes are going to be there no matter what the structure is.
And they also created a new division.
The adaptives?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome. We have some experience, on site doing that. I think it's a good thing. I think it's
I'm interested to see how they set it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't really put out a ton of details on really any of this, but especially that. I actually looked into it the other day, and there just wasn't much. I mean, Castro mentioned a little bit of it, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of this needs to come out in the rule book.
Yeah, Rosa talked a little bit about it. He's kind of going through, and I mean, maybe the whole sport needs to do it, because myself included, needs to go through. There's multiple different types of adaptive division. A chair version, there's like limbs. So I think when all of that stuff gets put out, I think subdivisions within adaptive. But I think that structure is pretty cool. I didn't see, can you explain that a tiny bit? Is there a quarterfinals for that? Yeah, so maybe they go in the Masters team qualifiers, or maybe they qualify directly to the games. I'm not really sure from stage one.
Yeah, when they talked about it, it looked like they were together, but I don't know if there is that second stage for them. It's just like in addition to Masters and teams, this is a new adaptive division. So I assume that just kind of through conversations. But I think, I'll just give a shout like those that have started that. Some of these other, whatever the sanctions were, just like big competitions. Like Watercloose has done that for a long time.
Blues has been doing that every year.
Well, that's just really, that's one of the things that they've really done well. I know they do a lot better. So other competitions that have done that and kind of push that forward is pretty cool.
Our community in general, I mean, I feel like that's a huge part of the culture that should get spread. And maybe that part of that is their military influence. Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure why it's so big in our community, but I think it's pretty cool that it's now being like integrated.
Yeah, no other sports are really ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can argue they're better, and which is happening now.
Yeah. Well, there's the Paralympics and that type of stuff work, so there's some, but I don't feel like it's highlighted directly with the main sport.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, they definitely have done a good job.
Yeah.
Final question. We can wrap this up. So, thinking about let's take our online program that is up. Take the average of the people in there, so like the average fitness level.
Yeah.
And if you were first, tell me what that is, and then if you were that person, how would you suggest looking at the stages? Not necessarily how you're going to train. You can dive into that a little bit, but just where would your mindset be for that average person? Define what it is first.
I think this is kind of the first thing. I'll let you answer the question, but the first thing, this is the reason that we set up divisions, right? So we had an elite division, an RX division, an intermediate, and a masters, so that we can address the questions that people have on the different stages.
Yeah, so I mean, I think most people probably would fit into two categories, which would be intermediate or RX. You obviously have your elites. Masters is kind of their own subset of people, and because you're just an age. So most people would probably bridge those two things. An intermediate athlete, in our eyes, is somebody that needs to get stronger and needs to develop more of the advanced skills. And so some people that are what we would classify as intermediate athletes probably can do RX workouts pretty often, but there are going to be things like muscle-ups or handstand walking or freestanding handstands or 17.3, the third barbell for men is 225-pound snatches. For women, I think that converts to 145 in that workout.
It's either 145 or 155.
Yeah, one of those two weights is a third conversion. Like that's a pretty strong athlete. So a lot of people would fall into the category of being mostly being able to do RX type stuff, but there's a couple movements or a couple strength things that they're not good enough at, so they're intermediate. And I think that if you take that from the season and you kind of zoom out, that means that stage 1 and stage 2 are the primary focus. If you're on the more intermediate side of that spectrum, then you probably got to get prepared for those things that I listed out, the dumbbell, plyo box, pull-up bar, jump rope, and barbell, and do a little bit more focus on basic stuff and focus on the intermediate style training to crush stage 1 to try to make sure you push yourself through to stage 2. And for our if you have all the skills and all your strengths dialed in, like we kind of talked about, you're going to make it through that top 10%, and you're kind of peaking for that quarterfinal stage. You just get and maybe make the semifinals.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bubble regional athlete.
The one thing that I'd say about intermediate, the way that I would look at it, if you're an intermediate athlete, the first thing that I would suggest that you do is make sure that you
buy some nanos.
Skills. Yeah, buy some nanos, please. And pull that out. I would develop all the skills first because everyone can kind of develop that capacity later on if you need to. I'm not saying you should be building a nice pace earlier on, but if you don't have muscle-ups, you don't have chest bars, you don't have handstand push-ups, you don't have double unders, like all the things that you know are going to come out, and maybe this year's different because of the restrictions with COVID, but in general, those are the things that we're looking at in the intermediate path. Like we're really trying to develop your ability to bars and all these things. And then the RX path, you should have all of those skills, and then it is about a workout like that.
Yeah.
And then the next one is our elite division, which obviously is going to be looking at.
Well, I guess.
Oh,
you don't.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, that's going to be totally different because, like, so you're coaching that path right now for that division, and stage one is just, I don't want to, I mean, it really is just training for them, right? Like, everyone's going to make it through. Stage two, if you're elite, if you're in that division, you really should make it through stage two as well and get on to something else. There's going to be some that are on the bubble, but they're really focused on that semifinal, not getting to an in-person.
Yeah, I mean, they really have until May 24th at the minimum to kind of prepare to get their bodies into peak performance shape. And I say that just based on the fact that if you just look at, let's say there's 50 men taken to each one of the North American regionals. That means there's 250, if there's 5 of them, there's 250 in the US. That doesn't include all of the elite athletes that are in Europe and Asia and Australia, South America.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, okay, well, top 250 in terms of the US men going through, that's probably somewhere in like the top 1,000 or more overall men. Most people that are considering themselves somebody that's elite, I think, should go through that. It doesn't mean you get exposed and maybe you have a weakness type workout that comes out, or you get sick on that weekend, or whatever, you can get exposed. But I think for the most part, if you're setting your mind up to be a games athlete, the target focus there is semifinals and games, and all the preparation kind of moves out there. Now, you have to be pretty damn good to put your headspace there. You can't be somebody who's on the bubble of RX and elite, which is what we see a lot of times. People want to jump up in divisions and do a little bit too soon. But I think it actually makes more sense to say, swallow your pride, and if you're barely going to make it out of the quarterfinals, then focus on all the stuff that's in the gym and wait to develop your running and your swimming and all that.
Run that back one more time for the folks.
Yeah. If you're elite or you're going to be on the bubble of elite and RX, that quarterfinal stage is your primary focus. You might want to focus more of your time in the gym, getting intense, keeping your body a little bit low, getting your strength up, and waiting on the running and the swimming and the biking and the strongman and the other skills.
You heard the man.
So that's hard to do,
Yeah.
especially as an athlete that wants to make it.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, like, your gift is getting to the semifinals at that point. Like, we used to have people that were like, I just want to make regionals.
Right.
It's a totally different mind state than somebody that's like, I want to win regionals. And if you're going to win regionals, you're not really that worried about getting there.
And can we also say that there is a large gap still? Not to like hurt anybody's feelings, but there's the gap between the true like top 20 in the world and then those that are making sectionals is still very large. So that's also some ground you have to make up. But the first step is getting to that in-person.
I mean, the gap in performance between somebody that's a top 10 games athlete in the world and a 500th place in the world athlete is probably almost as wide as that 500th place person and me in the 10,000 plus range.
And that second place person in Fraser.
I mean, that's maybe it's even as big. Yeah, I mean, it's huge.
Look at and obviously Fraser just crushed these workouts this year with the stage.
Fraser division.
Yeah, just get out of the damn competition.
He beat everyone by a minute in a 4-minute workout.
Yeah.
By 25%.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
yeah.
and that's also the gap that's seen because we have to try to pull that data out. So it's just a way for people to start thinking about it and actually having realistic expectations, like you said at the front end of this conversation.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're going to have a more enjoyable season and you may surprise yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. As of filming this today, it's a Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday, the beginning of
Is that how weeks work?
Did the elites put up any big numbers on that?
Yeah, I saw 300-pound snatch yesterday. I think 180 was our biggest female. I'm going to check the leaderboard right now. I have my time blocked off to do it after this podcast. And you put me on the damn spot, but I'll open it up. Ooh, Dylan Pettit in a 305? Oh, that's today. I was like, what the hell? I was going to say, Jesus. He didn't do that last week. Dylan's pretty strong, but
He is. He's a gorilla, too. And he can breathe, man. That is so impressive.
all right, Luke McLennan snatched 300 on the male side, and Josh Gervais was behind him at 285. And on the female side, Stephen's daughter at 180 pounds.
G for whoever, N for Noah.
Oh, DSG. I was like, that's an alphabet. God, I'm dumb, so I'm just going to sit over here. Get me off this podcast.
Oh, geez. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week. If you want a free sample week of that peaking cycle, head over to Training Think Tank.